I truly believe that anything can be taught. When I was a kid, I used to have a stutter. Right? That's how I used to speak, right, when I was a kid. What is the potential of a human being is to get clarity. So one of the things I do is, the first thing is understanding why I do what I do. I think that's what entrepreneurship is, not doing what everyone else is doing. When everyone's going this way, you need to go the opposite way.
So how do you decide which opportunities to seize and which ones to walk away from?
You got to look at the trend. What's trending right now? Because everything works in cycles. I'll give you an example. You look at the early 2000s, dot-com boom. So we had dot-com boom and it went away.
And we might be a disaster, right? Every master was once a disaster in a sense.
Multiple streams of income, but they'll be completely random. Actually, what you need to do multiple streams of income within an ecosystem. So here's the misconception. People think you use social media to make sales. That's incorrect. You use social media for opportunity.
What does success mean to you now?
Success is about freedom. It's having your choice to do whatever you want to do. It's very easy for me to make money. I can do it with my eyes closed.
The world is full of noise, but only a few voices cut through it, because they don't just talk about success. They show you how to live it. Fast, smart, real. This is more than a podcast. It's your next evolution.
Welcome to the Raygacy Show. Now, guys, quick question. What does it take to go from zero to self-made millionaire by 27 and then scale that success to impact millions worldwide? Today's guest, John Lee, is an internationally renowned entrepreneur, investor, speaker, and mentor. He's built multiple seven-figure businesses, invested in top tech and Web3 companies, and coached world-class entrepreneurs, CEOs, athletes, and celebrities on how to grow and preserve their wealth. Featured in Forbes, The Wall Street Journal, and BBC, and having shared the stage with icons like Tony Robbins, Sir Richard Branson, and even President Bill Clinton. John's mission is simple: to help people create freedom through entrepreneurship and multiple streams of income. Now, get ready to learn the strategies and mindset behind lasting wealth and legacy. And without further ado, let's welcome John into the podcast.
All right, how's it going, brother?
Good. Wow, I've been, following you for quite some time, and I spoke with some of your friends as well, and they shared a lot of stuff about you, and I'm so excited to be finally able to meet you in person to record this interview together.
I know we've been trying to go back and forth on this. The schedule's been
I know,
absolutely
right?
insane, but I'm so glad to be here, man.
Well, thank you so much. And I understand that you have been in this industry for quite some time, and you are here in Singapore to actually give a mastermind as well on the 26th, 27th, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And I truly love your journey. And can you share with the audience a bit more about who you are and what you do as well?
So it's very simple. You want to give a lot of education, add massive value to people, give them insights that can actually allow them to unlock different business models and plans. Because here's the thing. If I ask you, what is the potential of a human being? You would say unlimited, right? But then how do we unlock the potential in somebody? And to get potential is to get clarity. So one of the things I do is when I do my keynotes all around the world, I first of all understand what is the clarity that person needs to move forward. See, when clarity is there, Rayson, everything aligns together. And so that's what I do. I go around the world, give people clarity. They create incredible businesses. When they do well, they then give me a little cut. So that's how we do it.
That's amazing, right? Getting the cut as well. And I believe you have quite a number of students from Singapore as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've got some incredible, for example, I mentioned Mark Leung, for example. He's done incredible well with Farms Asia. We've got Adrian Limins, who's the up-and-coming one now. People like Pam Xiao. We have a lot of people actually here in Singapore. And you know what I love about the students here in Singapore? They're very structured.
Yes.
It's like step one, step two, step three, step four, step five, and they go and do it. And once they have the clarity, they have the structure, they execute. And that's what I really love about the mindset here.
Yeah. So I believe, it's the mindset that we have been shaped since our forefathers, especially our late Lee Kuan Yew, who actually taught us a lot of stuff and helped to build this small, tiny island into a really, I would say, a hub for so many businesses as well.
Yeah.
And also I'd like to ask you, right, You actually became a self-made millionaire at just 27. Looking back now, what was the internal mindset shift that allowed you to achieve that so early in life?
The first thing is understanding why I do what I do, right? So without a why, you can't persist. Without a why, you don't have the fuel. You have the car, but you don't have the fuel for the car to move. So I need to understand the deep why. And many years ago, I worked in my parents' Chinese takeaway as a dishwasher, right? And I remember every single weekend when my friends were having parties, I had to work. So I didn't really have a great sort of college life. I was always working in the Chinese takeaway when everyone was partying. So I wanted to be able to, actually one of the reasons I went to university is so I wouldn't have to work in the Chinese takeaway,
Yep.
right? And also to now build a life where now my parents never have to do that again. And so it's understanding, number one, why you do what you do, right? So that was my big why. The second why is, okay, what can you do? You see, what people will do and what people can do are worlds apart,
True.
right? So then what is the defining thing of whether someone, like you can give people the same advice. Well, I've been doing this for 20 years. I can give two people exactly the same advice. One person will go away and become a millionaire. The other person won't take any action. So what is the difference? The missing part of the jigsaw puzzle is the motivator, the prime motivator of why they do what they do.
I'm pretty sure, you have a lot of success, massive success. Then what about failure? Do you have a favorite failure of yours? And how has that failure or apparent failure set you up for later success?
I have so many failures. I mean, everyone always looks at the big things that happen, but the small things that happen or the big small things that happen are actually the ones that people don't see. And that's actually what makes an entrepreneur. So for example, I've been in a lot of situations where over leveraging, right? So you buy a lot of real estate and then, suddenly the market turns. You know that, have you played the game Monopoly?
Yes.
Right? So do you know when you buy all these houses and hotels and you go to that chance card and it gets pulled and you're like, you have to repair all your houses?
Yep.
It's kind of like that. Going into 2008 and coming out of it, that was pretty tough, right? So then if you don't have enough cash flow, what do? You have to go and make it happen. So I got all my staff members, okay, we have to go out now. We need to get more deals. We need to get more investors. We need to get more property. And so literally I remember the time my PA, I got her to do this. So we went around, we started putting leaflets through people's doors. One of my houses got turned to a cannabis factory, right? And so we created this idea of, because we couldn't afford to fix it because it wasn't covered on insurance, right? So at that time I was just starting out. So to spend £180,000 of my own money to fix up the property, which was only worth $250, didn't make sense.
Yep.
So I had to start getting creative. So so my question was, how can I get someone to fix my house and refurbish it for free? Right? And then I came up with, of course, people who want to live in the property and fix the house up themselves. So I turned what was the negative into a positive. My advert was, if you can fix my house, you can have it. And I got all these people coming to the house, and then two couples who were builders themselves. They refurbished the entire house. And then later, after 5 years, they split up. They left the house. I got a house that's all fixed up now. That now I can rent out and it's all refurbished.
Wow, damn, that's so smart, man.
It's thinking creatively.
Yeah, man.
It's how do you think outside the box? So that was at the start of my business, one of the biggest challenges, because that could have really ruined me unless I think outside the box.
Makes sense. Yeah. Well, if it's me, I wouldn't have thought of that. I would just thought of I have to furbish my place and then I have to rent it out so people will come and rent. But you did it so differently.
I think that's what entrepreneurship is, Rayson. It's not doing what everyone else is doing. When everyone's going this way, you need to go the opposite way. For example, when everyone's buying, you need to sell. When everyone's selling, you need to buy.
Right.
When the taxi drivers is telling you to invest in the stock, it's already too late.
True. Wow, makes sense. Wow, okay. And I understand that you have shared stages with some of the world's most iconic leaders and thinkers, which I mentioned earlier,
Yes.
like Bill Clinton, Sir Richard Branson. So was there a single piece of wisdom or moment from those encounters that forever changed how you see business and life?
Yeah. For example, I remember when Richard Branson, when he's on stage, I remember being backstage and just seeing him because I was about to go on right after him. And he has this little black book. I don't know if he still does it now, but he's always taking notes Like he's the one being interviewed, but then he's taking his notes. And you know one thing, so that's why now I don't wear my Rolexes and things like. Well, you can't in London because they get stolen.
Right.
So I always wear my Apple Watch. Why? Because if I press this button here, I've got a record button on it. Can you see?
Yep.
Anytime I'm with my friends, I get an idea. I'm like, okay, click record. Okay, so I just sat down with Glenn, and Glenn mentioned da. So basically, I create voice notes to myself, right? So then I can, because I'm dyslexic, so it's really hard for me to sometimes understand things. And also as well, I also use my phone, and I also use a lot of AI now. And the AI is basically going to be like taking notes and things like that.
Right.
So then I can actually start recording different notes on here as well.
Okay.
Right. So now I'm able to really understand the context of the meetings and also the aha moments of those meetings as well.
Well, that makes sense, and that's so brilliant. I mean, like when you are sitting down talking with someone, regardless whether is it this recording of podcasts or anything, when you are really, having that aha moment together, you can just record it down and just
Yeah. I mean, this literally, I just sit it here, right? And then now you see it's transcribing everything. No,
Wow.
what I can do, I can take that, put it into my knowledge base, and sometimes I have to remind myself from my own AI on how I should do things. Hey, John, based on all these opportunities, we have 100 different opportunities now. Based on your market analysis, do deep research and tell me which of these 5 different business models that we've talked about out of the 100, shortlist it and give me sentiment analysis on all businesses, demand, trend, and also competitor analysis. And it'll give me the whole thing into a report.
Wow, this is amazing, and this is like your AI, which is called John Lee AI, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
All right, nice. And okay. And many people aspire to wealth, right? But few sustain it. So, what have been the biggest internal battles you've had to overcome to preserve not just your money but your sense of purpose?
Sense of purpose is a constant reminder of why I do what I do. And how do I get that? By being in life settings when I can look someone in the eye and they go, oh my God, that changed my life. Right? Or someone like Blair, for example, she came to one of my events and she implemented what I said. And then she started making 2 clients. This is fresh out of university, paying $2,500, $3,000 a month. So she's making more than what most people would make in a corporate job.
Wow.
So when I think about those ideologies, how do we take what works and how do we execute it in a simplistic way that can be scaled? And when we understand that, people can get what we call predictable results.
Okay. Well, love it. Okay. And I'd like to ask you this, John, if you had to distill your 2 decades of wealth building into one guiding principle, what would it be?
Awareness times attention equals income. Awareness,
Times attention.
I have to see you. Attention, I have to hold and grab you within that space,
Right.
equals income. The best known beats the best. No one, you can have the best product in the world, but if no one knows that you exist, no one's going to buy it from you.
True.
Right? And even I'll give you a good example of McDonald's. They're a massive company. They still advertise. Why? Because they're competing for attention. You look at people scrolling on the phone, right?
Yep.
That's where all the attention is. They're on these devices all the time, scrolling. But then how do we grab that person's attention from that process itself? By interrupting, by using unorthodox ways, by using a technique called guerrilla marketing, where we can do things that are not specifically the way to do it. Right. So when we understand how we can implement, that's how we win.
Do you have any examples that you have used for your business in terms of grabbing attention from the people?
Yeah. So, for example, let's take social media, for example.
Sure.
Right? So, let's take when I'm speaking on stage. I'll do a classic example.
Okay.
So, one thing I used to do with, whenever I launch a new book, I'll basically say to people, if you want to attend the event and you want to come to this keynote, then your ticket to the event is the book. Right? So, they bring the book with them. And then if you bring the book, I'll do a book signing for you. Right? So after the event, I'll have a massive queue of a couple of thousand people, and I will sit there for hours signing the book.
Wow.
Right? Everyone takes a professional picture, and guess what? You post it on social media, I'll pick a random winner, and you fly to Bali with me. So now I'm getting a lot of exposure. Right?
Nice.
Or someone holds the book up, right? And I say to everybody in the audience, and this is a really good strategy, because we talk about awareness, right?
Yep.
So there's this technique called UGC creators. Have you heard of it? A UGC. So user generated content.
Oh, yes.
So let's say I have 1,000 people in the audience right now. And I say to everybody, okay, when I come up on stage, okay, I want you all to, everyone take your cameras out. I'm going to teach a very, very powerful lesson now. Okay? And what I want you to do, I want you to take that video and post it online. So I'll look at all my viral content, the ones that have got a lot of views, a lot of engagement, and I'll recreate that on stage for them. Right? So they'll record it. If I have 1,000 people in the audience, they'll all have 1,000 friends. Now 1 million people see it.
Makes sense.
Right? If 1% of 1 million people become a customer, that's 10,000 customers. Times $1,000 or $100 or $50. You can do the math.
Yeah. Wow.
So that's one guerrilla marketing, because to get that, because you look at something like the Super Bowl, it costs you what, $5 million to get one ad that would get you 100 million eyeballs. Now I'm able to do it in a way that gets the same result.
Okay. Well, this is a really great idea, man. I'm gonna use it in the when I'm going to be speaking or anything like
Yeah,
that.
man.
Wow, love it. And I would like to ask you, John, you've built multiple seven-figure businesses and invested across industries from real estate to Web3. So how do you decide which opportunities to seize and which ones to walk away from?
So you got to look at the trend. What's trending right now? Because
Right.
everything works in cycles. I'll give you an example. You look at the early 2000s, the dot-com boom, right?
Yes.
So we had dot-com boom and it went away, right? And the next evolution was the real estate. So subprime mortgages went up and then down again.
Right.
That's our second opportunity. Third opportunity is social media. Social media comes, goes up. It's still around, but it's different, right? Fourth wave is crypto,
Yep.
right? You should visit Bitcoin, right? Goes up and it's still here, right? And then you had the NFT era that came in, right? And now, of course, you've got AI.
Yep.
So I need to analyze what the trends are going to be.
Right.
I need to look what's in the market, because it's not just picking a business and model to go into. You have to do your due diligence,
True.
right? So, for example, I would not get into doing like VHS tapes now, right? Or DVDs or MP3 players, right? It doesn't make sense. And if you look at where the world is going, you look at tokenomics,
Yeah.
right? So tokenomics is, someone asked me the question, what's after AI? Tokenomics, right? I can give an example. Everyone buys things using pounds, dollars, yen, Sing dollar, ringgits, right?
Right.
Right, depending where you're watching this in the world, right?
Yep.
So eventually, all the Gen Zs right now, they all have digital wallets.
Yes.
So if I have a digital wallet and I touch your phone, I can now transfer currency from my phone to your phone. So then what use is a bank for? Think about it. How many people in the world right now have, I fly around the world, right? And sometimes you go to the slums and you'll see that these people barely have a roof over their head.
Yeah.
But do you know what everyone's got?
Phone.
A phone
Yeah.
with an internet connection, right? And now with the power of artificial intelligence, they can be anyone. Without an accent, they can look how they want to look, and now they can conduct business. I have some of my Indian team who are using a lot of these processes to get UK, US clients, paying them US dollars and spending in rupees. They're living like kings out there. Right? This is where the world is moving to. We have to understand. And why am I mentioning tokenomics and AI? Because have you ever used ChatGPT to a point where it says you run out of credits?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
had.
right? So all AI runs on tokens and credits. So if everyone in this room is using tokens and AI, what's going to happen? It's like shares, isn't it?
Yeah.
More people use it, the higher the share price.
Correct.
So then we have to understand where the world is moving to. If you have digital wallet now, I can just transfer some token to you, which you can now use into your AI. Because if AI is doing everything, then what are people getting paid for?
Makes
Right?
sense.
So that's where tokenomics comes in. This is the next era, and we're probably about 5 years away from that, from this time at the point of this recording, right? We will look back in 5 years' time, and then you'll see.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see in 2030.
Yeah,
We'll
this
see
is
that.
my prediction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone's like, it's not like, I'm going to transfer 2,000 Sing to you. It's like, bro, transfer me some tokens.
Right, right.
Yeah?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. And John, I would like to ask you, in your view, what's the biggest misconception people have about becoming wealthy through multiple streams of income?
So here's the problem. They try and do, like, if I give you one ball now and you just jump, like, you can probably just juggle one ball.
Yep.
If I give you two balls, yeah, you could probably do that, right? If I chuck a third one in, okay, now you're going to be a little bit more skilled.
Yeah.
If I give you a fourth one,
Well, be tougher.
now you're juggling, you're going to struggle. I chuck a fifth one in there, 6, 7, 8, you're going to drop some balls.
True.
So actually, you've got to get really good at doing one first, right? Then once you've done that, so what I like to do is go in, create a company, put a management team in there, move to the next one. So my real estate company, I don't really manage that now, right? That's managed by a team.
Yep.
And I just thought, okay, John, do you want to buy this property in London? No, yes or no? Here are the figures. Okay, yeah, I'll take that one. Don't want that one, take that one instead, right? My education now, a lot of it's been done by artificial intelligence.
Yep.
Right? And so investing, okay, do I have my investment committee look at a lot of the deals? I could do. Or I could run all those decks through an AI and look at all the big things there and spit me out a report, then I can shortlist. So it's going into one, systemizing one, coming out of it and letting it run by itself.
Okay. Well, makes sense. Okay. Well, right. Yeah, I totally agree with you that, we should be able to juggle one first before we actually go and, juggle multiple at a time.
Yes.
Because we are still new to it and we might be a disaster, right? Every master was once a disaster in a
Yeah.
sense.
And so here's another thing people get wrong as well. They'll do multiple streams of income, but they'll be completely random. Right?
Oh.
Actually, what you need to do multiple streams of income within an ecosystem. So it feeds into each other. Like Apple. Apple has multiple income streams, but they all feed each other. They've got, the Mac,
Yeah.
they've got the App Store, they've got storage, and they have, all the different connections. They keep changing.
Yep.
It all rolls into the same thing, but it's multiple streams of income.
Okay, understand. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. And John, I would like to ask you, you coach world-class entrepreneurs, athletes, and celebrities. So despite their different industries, do you see a common pattern in struggles that they face with money and growth?
Yeah, it's one of the 4 areas. Either it's in lead generation.
Lead gen.
Yeah, I need to get more leads, right? Or it's in you got a lot of leads, but they don't make any sales,
Okay.
right? So now they're making a lot of sales, but now they're making too many sales. The third thing is they've got a fulfillment problem, right? So now they're getting so much business in, they're struggling to actually deliver, and then the customer service comes in. The fourth is the operations and the AI it's funny, I did a keynote in Melbourne.
Yep.
Last year, I asked the question, how many of you have heard of ChatGPT? 10% of the hands go up, right? Then I asked them this year, how many heard of ChatGPT? Everyone's hands goes up.
Okay.
Then I asked them the question, how many of you using ChatGPT to read your emails, draft a response, and send it back to them? All the hands go down. So now there's what we call an implementation gap, right? They know what it is, but they don't know how to use it. Or actually, rather, they know what it is, but they don't know how to apply it. So they know what it is, they know how to use it, but they actually don't. What's a real life use case of it? Everyone's talking about AI, but how are you actually applying it?
Yep.
Right? So for example, I gave an example before. So I actually have, I'll do a different example in this one.
Sure.
So a lot of people have a lot of leads, right? So I have an agent that will call, so pretend this agent's calling you now.
Okay.
Hello, this is Morgan from John Lee Group. Do you have a few minutes to chat about how we might be able to help your business?
Yeah, John, I filled in my details online. Thanks for getting back to me. Yeah, I've got about 5 minutes.
Great. Can you tell me about your business and the industry you're in?
Oh, I have a podcast show and I've got about, 50,000 followers and I interview a lot of guests on entrepreneurship.
Thanks for sharing that. Just to understand better, could you tell me a bit more about your podcast and the type of audience or industry you focus on?
It's mainly entrepreneurs and people that are looking to invest and start businesses.
Great. Thanks for clarifying. What systems or processes do you currently use to manage your podcast and connect with guests or your audience?
So we use like YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. We have some CRMs like, salesfunnels.io to manage that.
Thanks for sharing. What are the biggest challenges you face?
So basically, it'll go through a script to qualify you,
Wow.
and when you're ready to buy, it'll close you.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah. So like a use case like that, right? That's what we call a voice agent.
Yeah.
But not many people are using a voice agent to replace the sales team.
Right.
Right? And when I say replace, I don't mean actually replace. Your sales team will still be there because people always think that AI is going to take their job. It won't. It's
No.
going to expand their job. So one salesperson can now become 100 salespeople.
Yeah.
One customer service agent can now become 100 customer service agents.
Right. Agree.
Yeah.
Agree. Wow. Yeah, nice.
So that's how I think.
Oh, okay. Well, love it, love it. I mean, this is how the world is going to be in the next few months to a few years as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would like to ask you, right, John, if you lost everything today, but you kept your knowledge and your network, what would be your first 3 steps to rebuild it?
Step 1, find a business that is doing pretty well, but is struggling in terms of scaling. Right? Because because what I know is getting from 0 to 1 is really hard. Getting from 1 to 2 is very easy. Right? Getting from 2 to 10 is easy. I don't mean easy. What I mean is that like the process is there, so it's just a matter of numbers. Right? That's the first thing. The second thing that I always realize is that once we found these people, the second thing is what can I do for them that's going to help them? Right? What can I do for them that's going to help them?
Okay.
Right? So they're struggling with XYZ. Let me plug XYZ for them. And I'll do it for free. Right? I'll do it for free because you said I've still got knowledge, right?
Yes.
So I'll do it for free because I know. I'll give an example. I met a guy who's got 21 million views and impressions in the last 30 days. And he doesn't have chatbot automation. I'm like, are you kidding me? You got 21 million views and you have no chatbot automation.
Right.
I was just doing a corporate training to a very big company in Dubai. They just raised like 720 million, right? And then one of their businesses, partners that was there, he said, John, every month, right, I'm getting like 50 to 100,000 views depending on what type of content I post. And I said, have you got any follow tracking on that? What do you mean? Well, do you know when people follow you, you can capture the email address? Really? How'd you do that? Well, you just click this button and click that button. And now you can extract data. Because the key here is to extract data so you own the data. When it's on social media, you don't own it. But when you extract it, you own it. That's where the value is. So that's the second thing I would do. And the third thing I would do, I would prove a result. Right? This is the result. This is how much money you made from it. And then you're like, well, why would you do it for free? Because what I want to take a percentage of the uplift. So I'll say to you, how much are you making right now? Well, I'm making 100 grand. Okay. If I get you to 2, can I have some of it? Sure. Let me do it for you. Here's a contract. You sign it, right? And then you give me 50% of the uplift. I'm in an extra 50,000.
Okay. Yeah.
That's it. So you do it.
Okay. Well, makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. And you've built a following over 6 million globally,
Yes.
right? So do you see social media primarily as a business tool, a stage for influence, or a responsibility?
So here's the misconception. People think you use social media to make sales. That's incorrect.
Oh.
You use social media for opportunity.
Okay.
Right? So, for example, someone will make a post and they'll get 10 views and delete the video. But one of those 10 views could be an investor in your company. One of those 10 views could be your book publisher. One of those 10 views could be someone watching your social media, inviting you onto a podcast, which then will go out to thousands of millions of people. Right? You just never know. So actually, it's networking on steroids, right? And it's also an opportunity puller. That's what we want to do in business. It's not about always making the money. It's about getting the right opportunities. So partnerships, podcasts, book deals. Like I'll put one video up of me speaking on stage, and then I'll get a company reaching out to say, "Hey, can you do a keynote on my next event?" Right? Yeah, and they'll pay me 50 to 100,000, pay for my first class flights to go there, and I do my thing.
Okay. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. It's just I'd like to keep it easy.
Yeah, it is. And I'm pretty sure those of you who are tuning in will definitely view social media as not just a business tool, but also something that you can actually generate opportunity from. And I would like to ask you, John, in an age of digital entrepreneurship, where authenticity and illusion often blur, right? So how do you personally ensure you stay true to your values while building your influence?
So number one is post the things that you want to post, don't post the things that people want to see. Like, for example, people say, John, you have all these Lamborghinis. Why do you never post pictures of you and things like, that's not my thing. I mean, occasionally I'll do it, right? But it's like, if I wanted to, because I know that stuff pulls a lot.
Yeah.
I know it gets lots of likes. I know it gets lots of comments, but for what? It's the wrong thing, right? You're attracting the wrong audience. So the acid test is, does your message penetrate? Right? Does your message penetrate? Because have you heard of this guy called, or this concept called 1,000 true fans? Right? So you only need 1,000 people in your business to make millions of dollars. Right? That's all you need. But people try and focus on millions of people and get millions of this. You don't need that. You just need 1,000 true fans that love what you do, that refer one person to you a year. Right? So if one person refers one person to you, they pay you $1,000.
Right.
You just made an extra million. Right? That's actually where the focus needs to be. See, a lot of people focus on lead generation, not retention optimization.
Right. Yeah, they definitely have to look at retention rather than, just finding new leads every time now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And I would like to ask you, do you believe entrepreneurship is a skill that can be taught, or is it something innate that only a few are wired for?
That's a really good question. You know, I truly believe that anything can be taught.
Okay.
Like when I was a kid, I used to have a stutter.
Right.
That's how I used to speak. Right, when I was a kid.
Right.
And then I took up public speaking. And then I took up content creation. And these are skills that I never had. But now, people say, John, there's no way you used to do that. Like if I look at my first video compared to now,
Right.
it's like two different people. It's like someone injected me with confidence, injected me with articulation, injected me with knowledge. But that is all a learned skill after 20 years.
Right.
And as Malcolm Gladwell will say, it's the 10,000 hours, right?
Yes.
You got to get those 10,000 hours in. And so for me, it's if like, for example, it's like saying, can anyone learn a language?
Can.
Yeah, but it takes time, right?
Yeah.
You got to be in the environment for it.
Right.
It's the same with entrepreneurship. It's a skill. So people can learn it, but some people, have you ever heard that saying, everyone is equal, but some people are more equal than others? Same with entrepreneurship. Everyone can be equal, but who's willing to put in the work? I'll give an example. So I remember the first time I came to Singapore to do a keynote.
Right.
And it was a big event. It was like 2,000 people. And I picked up the phone, and I was staying in Ritz-Carlton, right?
Okay.
And I called them, and I said, and they was like, hey, hello, this is room service. They were expecting me to order a chicken rice or something. I said, no. Could you bring a flip chart to my room? A what? A flip chart. And she just paused for a second. The flip chart that's got paper on there. And she's like, okay. And then 5 minutes later, I had this flip chart in my room. Why was the flip chart there? Because I was practicing every day, right? Up until that event, by the time I spoke. So I need to know what I wanted to say. And I figured out this thing. I said, oh my God, like, what if I forget what I'm going to say?
Right.
So then I remember one of my mentors and teachers said, John, you don't have to worry about that. Just get a pencil, preset the flip chart before you talk. And what she meant was,
yes.
you go to the flip, you write in the top right hand corner, like all the little pencil marks, right? And then so if I'm on stage, I'm like, okay, there's really this thing you got to learn. And like, oh my God, I forgot what I said. I just turn to the flip chart, I look in the top right hand corner, that's the point. Then I'll turn around and say, that's what I meant, right?
Right.
So then I can write it down. So little things like this, you learn as you go, right? That's the difference between knowledge and wisdom, right? Knowledge is knowing a tomato is a fruit,
Yeah.
right? Wisdom is knowing you don't put tomato in a fruit salad,
Okay.
right? That's
Right.
my friend John Davey told me. That's interesting.
Okay.
So that's the way the world is moving to now.
Right. Okay. Well, interesting. And I would like to ask you, you've mentored countless people on creating wealth, but
Yeah.
beyond money, what does success mean to you now?
Success is about freedom. It's having your choice to do whatever you want to do. It's, for example, I meet a lot of people that do a lot of consulting, and like they take on clients that they really don't like. I was like, why are you taking this client on, making your life hell? Fire them, right? So like True freedom is knowing, is to be able to do what you want to do, when you want to do it, with whoever you want to.
Right.
Right? It's having the choice. It's true success is to be able to say no to things and it has no repercussion on you.
Right.
That's really what success is. And success is also about leaving an impression on this world, right? Leaving legacy. Like, it's funny when people pass away and they have a will, they always like, who's going to get the watch? Who's going to get the car? Who's going to get my money? They never say who's going to get my knowledge. The biggest asset in a will now will not be watches, cars, money. It'll be your knowledge base. Wouldn't you love to go and speak to your great grandfather? Now you can. We can capture the essence and the memories of people,
Yep.
and now they can live forever.
Yeah.
Now you can talk to them.
Right. Yeah. Unlike olden days, it's all only letters, papers.
Yeah.
And then if it's burnt, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Right.
But now it's the knowledge base.
Right.
Because is knowledge power? No. Applied knowledge is power. Right? So we have to take what's there and then push it into something that we can actually use. And if it comes from our like I'll give an example. Like, my mum, she's a chef. And she can make incredible fried rice and sweet and sour chicken and biltong and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Right? But it's in her head. I want to take those bits of information out so I can recreate it. So those recipes live for the lifetime and multiple generations.
Wow. Nice. Okay. And as we are coming to the end of podcast, I have 2 more questions for you.
Go for it.
All right. So I would like to ask you, if someone listening right now feels trapped, working hard but not moving forward, what's the single mindset shift that they must make today to change their future?
First one is always learn from someone who already has what you want to do.
Right.
Right? So find that person. Always ask, who can I learn from? Like for me, I'm always searching for mentors and teachers. Why would I want to go and learn this stuff myself when I can just pay someone a small amount of money and shortcut the process? And someone says, why don't you use ChatGPT? I could, but I'll get generic advice. But if I go to the person, I get wisdom. Because now we live in the world of personalized scale. Right? So that's the first thing I would do. The second thing I would do is, okay, let me shadow that person. Right? I want to work to learn, not to earn. Right? So what do they do? How do they do it? I have people that come to my organization that take a pay cut to come. Right? Because one is they love our message of what we do, but 2, they also want to learn the process and how we do it. And that's the best way to shadow somebody, and you start thinking like them. Right? You hang around people who are millionaires, you'll be a millionaire. You hang around people who are broke, you'll be broke. You are the sum of the 5 people you hang around. If everyone's earning 50,000, you're on 50,000. If everyone's a millionaire, you'll be close to that. Why? Because they think differently. So that's the second thing that I would do. The third thing I would do is every day, iterate, action, iterate. When I do that, then I'm always gaining that 1% increase. And all these 1% increases compounds to thousands of percent increase.
Right. I agree. It's just like how Bruce Lee actually famously said it. Like he fears the person who practice the same kick over and over again.
That's right.
10,000 times.
I love Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, me too.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan. No relation, by the way, but
Yeah, I understand. And I would like to ask you, you've already impacted millions through your businesses, coaching, and stage presence. And now you're about to release a new book.
Yes.
Right? So what inspired you to write this book at this stage of your journey, and where can we find it?
Do you know, this is at the risk of sounding arrogant, right?
Right.
It's very easy for me to make money. I can do it with my eyes closed. You give me any business model, I'll show you how to make money from it. That's actually my claim to fame. And people are going to be testing me. Okay, John, I've got this. How do you make money from it? I've got this. How do you make... Like, literally, if you ever see me in the streets, right, and you're like, oh, John, I saw you on the podcast, come up to me and say, I've got this idea. How would you make money from it? And I can give you a very simple plan, step by step, on how to do it. Any business. You give me any business, and I can give you the exact model on how to get there.
Okay.
I guess that's my zone of genius. I've been doing it for so long that it's just become so easy to me. And when I see other people struggle, who can't even afford to pay the bills, like I feel like a part of me, I feel responsible that, wow, if just this person realized that they had this knowledge. I'll give an example. One of my students, she's an artist, and she paints incredible things.
Right.
But she's a starving artist. And I said to her, all you need to do is record what you're painting and put it online. And then you'll sell a lot more of your paintings. And she just did exactly that. She's making 50 to 20,000 euros a month doing that.
Wow. Okay.
Right?
Nice.
So, and that comes from attention, awareness times attention equals income. That's the rule. So if you apply that to everything that you do, like awareness, if you're in a job, right? If the boss sees that you're doing a good job, are you more likely to get a pay rise and a promotion? Yeah, because they've got the awareness, and wow, that person's got my attention. They went over and above the job that they're supposed to do. Attention equals income,
Right.
right? So it applies to every aspect of our life.
Okay. Wow, nice. And your book will be coming out soon?
Yeah, so book's coming out soon. And if people want to grab a copy, they can go to Amazon or they can go to johnlee.com
Okay.
and you have a look at it there as well. But the
Right.
book is, so the reason I say that is that the book's called Money Unlocked.
Yep.
How do we make it? How do we keep it? How do we multiply it? And I can guarantee you, if you look in the right places, it can be unlocked. It's just people just don't know how. And I've got countless stories of people who take what they're passionate about and turn it into an income.
Right. Oh, wow. Wow. I'm looking forward to read that and even get your autograph when we get to meet you
Yeah,
again.
let's do it.
Yeah, definitely. And also, where can my audience find you on social media?
Yeah, if they go to any social media like Instagram, type in John Lee, you'll see my account.
Right.
On YouTube, it's John Lee Success. I just started the
Oh, yes.
new YouTube channel as well.
Yep.
And also, of course, johnlee.com.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for appearing on the podcast. And guys, that's a wrap on today's episode with John Lee. Remember, true wealth isn't just money, it's a mindset and choices you make every day. So if you found value here, hit subscribe, leave a review, and share this with someone who needs a spark of inspiration. So until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep writing your legacy. All right. Thank you, bro.
Awesome, bro.
Thank you. Wow.